Everyone called the 80-pound pitbull a monster, a wide, muscular, blocky-headed dog whose big, toothy grin when he was happy looked to people who feared him like a snarl. When this couple brought their baby home, family and neighbors said the same thing over and over. Get rid of the vicious dog before he hurts that child. 27 different people told them a pit bull and a newborn under the same roof was a death sentence. And then, on an ordinary afternoon, when their baby went silent and stopped breathing, the dog everyone had called a monster did the one thing that saved his life. This is the story of how the most feared dog on the whole street became the only reason a little boy is alive today. Jasmine and Marcus Coleman lived in a small house in Houston, Texas. Marcus worked long hours and Jasmine stayed home. And 2 years before their son was born, they had brought home a pit bull puppy, a wiggly, clumsy, fawn-colored bundle who grinned at everyone he met. They named him Rocky. By the time he turned 2, Rocky weighed 80 pounds of solid muscle, and he was, by every single measure, the gentlest, goofiest, most loving creature either of them had ever known. But the world does not look at a pit bull and see gentle. When Jasmine got pregnant, the warnings came from every direction. "You cannot have a pit bull around a baby," her mother said. "That breed snaps." Her sister sent her every frightening news story she could find. A neighbor stopped Marcus in the driveway to tell him, man to man, that he was risking his child's life keeping a dog like that. Even people who had never met Rocky had opinions about the monster living in that house. 27 people, if you counted them all, told this couple to get rid of the dog before the baby came. But Jasmine had watched the way Rocky had started sleeping against the door of the empty nursery weeks before there was ever a baby inside it, and she made her decision. Rocky stays. I see you're still here but haven't subscribed yet. After what Rocky is about to do for this little boy, you'll want to be part of it. Tap subscribe. It means more than you know. What none of them understood is that Rocky had already decided the baby was his. From the day they brought little Amari home, that 80-pound pit bull appointed himself the baby's shadow, and it never changed for a single day. Where Amari was, Rocky was, a wide fawn dog lying at the foot of the bouncer, pressed against the side of the crib, stationed under the high chair. When Amari cried, Rocky was on his feet before Jasmine was, and Rocky watched that baby with an intensity that would have unsettled anyone who did not understand it, his eyes following every little movement, his ears tracking every sound the baby made. Amari, for his part, adored him. The baby's whole face would light up the instant he saw that big grinning dog, and he would bury his tiny hands in the loose skin of Rocky's neck and squeal, and 80 pounds of pit bull would go completely still and let him, grinning that enormous grin the whole time, the picture of patience. It was the sweetest thing Jasmine had ever seen. It was also the exact thing that terrified every visitor, because all they saw was a pit bull baring his teeth inches from a baby's face. They did not see the wagging tail or the soft, delighted eyes. They saw the teeth, and they saw a breed, and they were sure they were watching a tragedy about to happen. Jasmine stopped inviting certain people over. She got tired of explaining that the grin was a smile, that the dog would sooner die than harm that child. It was a strange kind of heartbreak, loving a dog the whole world had already decided was a villain. Jasmine would watch a stranger's face change the instant Rocky grinned and see teeth where there was only joy. She wanted to tell them all, look at his eyes. This dog loves my son more than most people love anything. But you could not argue a person out of a fear that old. But outside that house, the fear never went away. At the park, parents pulled their children back when they saw Rocky coming. A woman once asked Jasmine to her face whether she thought it was safe to keep a dog like that around a baby. Jasmine just smiled and kept walking, because she knew something all of them did not. She knew that the single safest place in all of Houston was wherever that pit bull had decided to lie down next to her son. Rocky had appointed himself the guardian of that baby, and he took the job more seriously than anyone knew. Rocky checked on Amari constantly. He would not settle at night until the baby was asleep, and more than once, Jasmine had seen him rest his wide head gently at the edge of the crib, just watching the baby breathe, as if making sure. She thought he was just being sweet. There were nights Rocky would get up and pad over to the crib to check, and Jasmine, half asleep, would call him back to bed. She did not understand yet that he was not being anxious. He was standing watch over a baby who could not yet protect himself from anything. She would find out exactly how seriously that dog took his job. Then came a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Amari was almost 8 months old, and Jasmine had put him down for his nap and stepped into the kitchen to wash bottles, with Rocky, as always, lying on the floor of the baby's room, on duty. It was the kind of ordinary moment that every parent knows. A few minutes of quiet, the water running, the baby monitor humming softly on the counter. And then something went horribly wrong, in the most silent way there is. Amari, half awake in his crib, had gotten hold of something small, and it had lodged in his throat, and the baby could not breathe, and he could not make a sound. That is the terrible truth about a choking child. There is no scream, no cry, no noise at all to alert anyone. Just a small person silently fighting for air while the world goes on around them. Jasmine, at the sink with the water running, heard nothing because there was nothing to hear. But Rocky saw. The same dog the whole street had called a monster, the same 27 people had begged them to get rid of, the same 80-pound pit bull every one of them had sworn would one day hurt that baby, was on his feet in an instant, and he understood, the way dogs somehow understand, that the child he had guarded from the very first day was in mortal danger. He did not bark at the crib and wait. Rocky tore out of that room and into the kitchen, and he threw himself at Jasmine, barking, a huge, frantic, deafening sound she had never heard from him, grabbing at her, spinning back toward the hallway and back to her, refusing to stop. This was not a dog wanting to play or go out. This was 80 pounds of pure, screaming urgency, a dog who could not make the humans understand fast enough that everything was wrong. For half a second, Jasmine almost scolded him, and then every instinct she had screamed that this was not normal, that this dog was trying to tell her something, and she dropped the bottle and ran after him. Rocky led her straight to the crib, and Jasmine looked down and her heart stopped. Amari's lips were going blue. He was silent, his little mouth open, his eyes wide with a panic no 8-month-old should ever know, and he was not breathing. Jasmine snatched him up, screaming for Marcus, and did the thing every parent prays they will never need to know how to do. She flipped that baby face down along her forearm and struck him hard between the shoulder blades. Once, twice, and on the third blow, the object shot from his throat, and Amari pulled in a huge, ragged, screaming breath. It was the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. Marcus called 911, and the paramedics checked Amari over and told them plainly what they already knew in their bones. A choking baby has only minutes, and because there is no sound, most of them can pass with no one aware. If Jasmine had stayed at that sink even a little longer, the outcome would have been unspeakable. The only reason she got to him in time was the dog who had been watching that baby breathe since the day he came home, and who came screaming for her the instant he stopped. And Jasmine knew, holding her son in the back of that ambulance with a certainty she will carry for the rest of her life, that if she had listened to those 27 people, if she had gotten rid of the dog everyone called a monster, there would have been no one in that room to know her baby was dying, no one to come for her, and she would have walked into that nursery too late. Instead, Amari lived. Word spread through the neighborhood the way news like that always does. The neighbor who had stopped Marcus in the driveway came to apologize. The woman from the park who had called him dangerous left a card. Jasmine's mother, who had said that breed snaps, flew in and got down on the floor and put her arms around 80 pounds of pit bull and wept into his fur, thanking him for her grandson's life. Today, Rocky is 4 years old and Amari is 3, and they are utterly inseparable. Rocky still sleeps at the foot of his bed. He still watches him with those soft, delighted eyes. And Amari still throws his arms around that big, grinning dog and buries his face in his neck, the way he has since before he could walk. And the 27 people who swore they should get rid of him have all gone very quiet, because here is the simple truth every one of them missed. A dog is not a monster because of his breed or his blocky head or the way his face looks when he smiles. What makes a dog is who he decides to protect and exactly what he is willing to do to keep them safe. Rocky decided on the very first day that a tiny boy was his, and when that baby went silent and could not breathe, the breed the whole world calls a monster was the only one in that house who knew, and the reason a little boy is still here. If you are thinking about bringing a big, powerful dog into a home with a child, please do not listen to the fear. Learn the breed, train with patience, supervise with love, and understand that the right dog raised the right way is not a danger to your child. Sometimes he is the guardian angel you never knew you needed, wearing a face the whole world taught you to fear. So let me ask you honestly, would you have trusted an 80-pound pit bull alone with your baby, or would you have listened to those 27 people and let him go? Tell me in the comments.